Hi, I'm Zeb, and this week I'm reviewing Pamplona Viva San Fermin. The premise of the game is you control one of a couple different runners during the running of the bulls in Pamplona, and you're trying to earn points through a couple of different ways, either by getting close but not too close to the other players' bulls and showing off, basically, not getting gored and trampled in the process too, and then having your bulls and your oxen trample and gore other players. So this game seats about 1 to 4 people. It's I believe, an Italian game, so it's been translated into several different languages. And now I'll walk through some of the basic components of the game. So the bulls and the oxen move via cards. At the start of every turn, there are 4 rounds in the game. Players will get 5 movement cards like so. So bulls, the black ones, are controlled by these cards. So with a 3, it would move 1, 2, 3, until it runs into somebody and savagely gores them. Oxen, the same way, they're done with the white cards. At the start of the game, players have 2 beer cards, because as we all know, you drink beer and run faster. When you drink a beer, you get an extra movement point in your turn. And a Blessing of San Fermin. He'll let you ignore 1 gore. Once you use these cards, they're gone for the rest of the game. There are special cards. You get 1 of these a turn. So for example, this card lets you move an additional 2 points, but only in a straight line. So rather than moving just 2 spaces as normal, you would move 4. Combine it with the beer, you could go up to 5. There you get points at the very beginning of the game for how close you are to how close you start to other players' bulls and oxen. The player who starts up to 1 space away, so this player, for example, would get, I believe, 5 points. Also, he would get the lion card, which grants him additional points. Those points are only good if he makes it to the end of the line, however. So if he gets run over before that, it's no good. You have to balance getting close but not too close and making sure you have a way to escape. There are bull tokens for when you gore somebody. When you gore somebody, you get a couple of points. Hoof tokens, when you trample somebody, you get a point. There's the rabbit card. The character who goes farthest away gets this. It's a negative point. So it punishes a certain degree of cowardice. Reference cards come with the game in a host of different languages and not as well organized as it could be. And there is the rule book, and I will address some of my criticisms with it later. So games start. The players put down, one at a time, will put down their bull and oxen. And you want to position it in such a way that you can actually use your bulls and your animals to try to guard you. So for example, if I was blue, I might have wanted to go here, because then I can try to make sure that my oxen doesn't run me over. It's a game that's really a lot about positioning when it comes right down to it. These little spaces, these run over guys, are obstacles. When you run into them, you have to stop moving. So the game starts with who's farthest ahead. Every player, the little tokens, get 2 movement points, so you can go 1, 2, 1, 2. Normally you cannot move sideways, you can only move diagonally, and you can't move into other players. There are special cards that let you ignore some movement rules, but they're out of the ordinary. Then once that's gone, people play depending on where their bulls and oxen are, so hypothetically if I was like this, these guys would go, then this oxen, then this runner. It moves from right to left, so positioning is really key. So player, making sure I'm on the right side here because I have trouble telling right from left. The player who's closest to the right, he will get to go first if everybody's in the same row. So you always try to make sure that you're closest to that edge. Positioning is really critical for this. If on your turn you have the bad luck to have a bull move into you, let's say orange just isn't spry enough and the green bull moves into him, he gets gored. When you're gored, you're taken out of this particular round. Any points you've accumulated from positioning and being close to the bulls goes back. The player who owns the bull, gets the token. At the end, he gets 2 points just for having gored somebody. When you're trampled, it's a little different. If, let's say, green got trampled by that one, he gets knocked down, but he can get back up again next turn. It's not ideal, but in some ways, actually, it can be a good strategy to have your own oxen trample you, so you can basically be protected if it comes right down to it. The game's is slightly ambiguous when it comes to scoring, I found. One particular problem, I couldn't tell whether you got points, actually, if you were own bull or own oxen gores or tramples you, which it strangely incentivizes people to run themselves over in the course of the game. And I'm not really sure how that one worked. The game's played over 4 rounds. When it's all done, everybody counts up their points and sees who the winner is. So then, moving on to evaluating the game. It's really fun with 4 players once you actually decipher the rules. The rule book, I'm not sure if it's a translation issue or I'm not sure if it's just not particularly well written. We spent, my group of friends, a half an hour trying to figure out exactly how to play the game. Which is unfortunate because it's actually a pretty simple game once you break into the mechanics. I feel like I had it down once I sat through and played it, but it's a little intimidating to start with. So that's not ideal. Maybe it's better in different languages. Maybe it's just an English localization problem. I do think the game really only works with 4. With 2, you don't have as many bulls and you don't have as many runners. There's just too much space. It doesn't really have the same energy that a 4-person game does. So if you're going to get this, count on it being 4 people. I would rank it actually as a pretty high beer and pretzels game. It's something you sit back and play with your friends once you know the rules. There's strategy and there's some positioning that goes into it, but it's still laid back enough that you could basically watch a movie and do it with friends. It's not a particularly in-depth game that way. Overall, giving this a ranking, I would put it at about a 7. I'm not sure I'd always want to play it, but if I just want to hang out with people, it seems like a good game to wheel out.